This is a Brookland News special report.
Well, good day. It's so good to be with you on this early Monday morning, or I should say Monday afternoon here. You're watching there live on the right side of your screen where a press conference is now underway as the NTSB holds this conference on that Brookland Bridge Mexican Navy vessel that crashed into the bridge. This is kind of a preliminary press conference just coming in. Let's listen in here for just a moment.
The Mexican Navy tall ship Cuauhtémoc struck the Brookland Bridge on the East River, damaging the ship's three masts. Local authorities have reported that there were 277 personnel on board. Unfortunately, we had two fatalities during the bridge strike. And before I go any further, on behalf of the NTSB, I wish to express my most sincere condolences to the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives in this terrible tragedy. The NTSB arrived on scene late yesterday afternoon and throughout the evening, and our first day on scene was this morning, starting today. We are here to gather perishable evidence, and that's what we will be doing the whole time we will be on scene, and that'll take as many days as it needs to be. This is the start of a long process. We will not be drawing any conclusions. We will not speculate. We will also not be determining the probable cause while we're on scene. The information that we provide today, is preliminary and is subject to change throughout the investigation. What you can expect from us is within 30 days we will have a preliminary report. Investigations take normally between 12 months to 24 months, with one stipulation. If we see some significant safety issue during the investigative process, we could
Alright, it appears as if we're having some technical difficulties with that shot. We will get that back working for you in just a few moments. I apologize for that error that we are experiencing. Okay, our feed is back. Let's see if we can't listen back in here to the NTSB at this press conference.
If we see some significant safety issue during the investigative process, we could put out an urgent safety recommendation for that issue, tied in the operating environment of that. This morning we had an organizational meeting, and we set up various teams, split up into different teams, and they are currently nautical operations, marine engineering, bridge engineering, survival factors, and recorders. We are currently working with our counterparts with the Mexican government to gain access to the ship. We are optimistic that we will have that access very soon. In the meantime, we are working to set up parties to the investigation. The U.S. Coast Guard is always a party to marine investigation. They're automatically a party. And we thank them for getting on scene very quickly, and we do appreciate all their support so far in supporting our lead in this investigation. The bridge team from our Office of Highway Safety has been working today with the New York City Department of Transportation, and they were doing a survey with the department there, and they have affirmed at this point that there is no significant structural damage to the load-bearing elements of the bridge. There is some damage on one of the travelers, which they use to access and survey the bridge at this point, but nothing structural from the bridge is an issue at this point. I will point out that the NTSB has long had an interest in bridge safety, including bridge strikes. Just 2 months ago, we released an interim investigative report about the collapse of the Key Bridge in Baltimore after it was struck by the dolly, in which we made urgent safety recommendations to numerous bridge owners. These included recommendations to calculate the risk of bridge collapse after being struck by a ship, and if that risk is over an industry threshold, to take steps to mitigate the risk. We have received comments back from the New York City Department of Transportation. We just received it. We're in the process of evaluating it, but accordingly they have reported that they have run the assessment and their threshold, their calculation is below the threshold. Sure, you bet. Our recorders group today, they've been canvassing the shoreline along the area where the accident is, trying to assess any closed-circuit TV and security cameras, and they have had some success today. We are very well aware that there's a lot of video out there in social media, people from cell phones and the such, and we would ask if you have video to first email us at witness@ntsb.gov. Again, that's witness@ntsb.gov. And we ask that you email us not the video, but that you have some. We will then send you a link to upload that video. We also have two personnel with us from our Office of Transportation Disaster Assistance, and they have been coordinating outreach with the Office of the Mayor of New York City, and we appreciate having them on scene. I will now turn it over to our investigator in charge, Brian Young, to give us some preliminary factual information. Brian?
Thank you. Based on preliminary navigational data, I can provide the following timeline for the vessel's movements in New York. The vessel arrived on May 13th around noon and docked port side 2 at Pier 17. The vessel remained there for about 3 days, and at 8:20 p.m. on May 17th, with the assistance of a tugboat, began backing away from Pier 17. The intent was to sail south down the East River and head for sea. Preliminary weather report at this time was dusk conditions, westerly winds about 10 knots, and the current was about 0.3 knots towards the bridge. Upon departing the pier, the vessel's astern motion and speed increased up to 6 knots. And at 20:24 or 8:24 p.m., a VHF radio broadcast was sounded requesting assistance from other tugboats in the area of the Brookland Bridge. That was followed by 2 other requests for assistance, and at 8:24 and 45 seconds, the vessel's mast struck the underside of the Brookland Bridge. At 8:27, the vessel came to a stop, and at 8:30, both NYPD and FDNY assets were on scene.
Thank you, Brian. Please follow us on X at NTSB_newsroom. Again, that's at NTSB_newsroom for any additional updates or further briefings. And before we get to questions, I want to thank all the first responders who were on scene, and they were on scene.
So you're continuing to listen in there as the NTSB gives an update on here where things stand.
We appreciate all the work that they do
on this. The big news being made, though, there has been no structural damage. The damage, they say, was on travelers. That was the most that we heard, and those travelers are, according to those NTSB officials giving this briefing, going to be what is used to inspect the bridge. They are taking questions now. Let's listen back in here.
Thank you. The question regards the status of the tugboat alongside the vessel. As far as we know at this time, the tugboat had assisted the vessel moving off the pier, and part of our investigation will be to look into the tugboat's policies and procedures for the operation once helping the vessel get off the pier, what its guidance would be and what its the job it would have to do.
Right here.
Chris Van Cleave from CBS News. Two questions. Any sense that there's a data recorder, a voice recorder on this ship to obtain? And it sounds like from your timeline, whatever went wrong happened very quickly after that tugboat got it out off the pier. Is that right?
Alrighty, I want to note, as we are also monitoring this event here, we are also monitoring an event at the White House that is soon to begin. This event at the White House is a signing event for what's been often noticed as the big, beautiful bill, this budget bill. Melania Trump and President Donald Trump, now they're at the White House, of course. I want to make sure both people are getting airtime here, just taking questions here. We've already heard kind of the big news, the big details there. So we do want to go back live now to the White House, where we're also watching this event involving the president and a signing event. Let's listen in now.
Good afternoon and welcome to the White House. It's an honor to join you here today for the signing of the Take It Down Act, a national victory that will help parents and families protect children from online exploitation. This legislation is a powerful step forward in our efforts to ensure that every American, especially young people, can feel better protected from their image or identity being abused through non-consensual or intimate imagery of I and CII. Artificial intelligence and social media are the digital candy for the next generation. Sweet, addictive, and engineered to have an impact on the cognitive development of our children. But unlike sugar, these new technologies can be weaponized, shape beliefs, and sadly affect emotions and even be deadly. Over the past few months, I have met with brave survivors, deeply loving families, and caring advocates who know firsthand the emotional and psychological toll of NCII and deepfake abuse. Alliston Berry stood boldly for change, despite the risk posed to her and her family by speaking out and making her voice heard. Alliston, your voice and the voices of so many like you made this bill a national priority. Many thanks to members of Congress, both parties, for passing this legislation, including Speaker Johnson, Senator Cruz, Senator Klobuchar, Congresswoman Salazar, Congresswoman Dean, and Congressman Guthrie, and so many more. Thank you all for coming together to prioritize people over politics. As First Lady, my Be Best initiative is focused on improving children's well-being, encouraging kindness, and creating a safer online environment for our youth. Today, I'm proud to say that the values of Be Best will be reflected in the law of the land. I want to thank my husband, President Trump, for standing with us on this effort. His signature on this new law is not where our work ends on this issue. Now we look to the Federal Trade Commission and the private sector to do their part. Today, through the Take It Down Act, we affirm that the well-being of our children is central to our future of our families and America. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the President. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Good job, sweetie. You want to sit down?
Yeah.
Send a gentleman. Great job.
Alrighty, I want to note before Trump began speaking
Well, I
here
wanna thank
that
everybody. We just
this
spent 2.5
event comes
hours
following
talking
a
to
phone
Vladimir
call that
Putin.
occurred a little bit earlier in the day involving President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin. That phone call has now been characterized by both presidents, and we'll see kind of what maybe occurs here in the and maybe what questions Trump might take, if at all, on anything not related to the Take It Down Act. So let's listen back in now.
Shame that it ever started in the first place. So, but I want to thank Melania and for your leadership in this very important issue. It's an amazing issue. America is blessed to have such a dedicated and compassionate First Lady. I would tell you she is very dedicated. In fact, if you look at just what I heard, Putin just said they respect your wife a lot. I said, what about me? No, they like Melania better. That wasn't good. I don't know if that was good. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I also want to congratulate the First Lady in securing $25 million in the first fiscal year, 2026, budget to provide housing and support for youth transitioning out of the foster care. And I can say that she loves children, and you really worked very hard on this, and you had a lot of help from some friends of mine right here, and a lot of the senators are here and congressmen, and I appreciate you all being here. We're also grateful to be joined by people that are just in love with what we're doing. It's such an important situation, and commissioners of the Federal Trade Commission and the CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino. Where are you, Linda? Where are you, Linda? Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Stand up. Thank you, Linda. Great job. You're doing a great job. It's a big deal, right? That's great. Today, it's my honor to officially sign the Take It Down Act into law. It's a big thing, very important, so horrible what takes place. This will be the first ever federal law to combat the distribution of explicit, imaginary, posted without subjects' consent. They take horrible pictures, and I guess sometimes even make up the pictures, and they post it without consent or anything else. And very importantly, this includes for forgeries generated by artificial intelligence known as deepfakes. We've all heard about deepfakes. I have them all the time, but nobody does anything. I asked Pam, can you help me, Pam? She says, no, I'm too busy doing other things. Don't worry, you'll survive. But a lot of people don't survive. That's true, and so horrible. With the rise of AI image generation, countless women have been harassed with deepfakes and other explicit images distributed against their will. This is the wrong, and it's just so horribly wrong. And it's a very abusive situation, like in some cases people have never seen before. And today we're making it totally illegal. Thank you. Upon hearing the stories of so many women affected, our First Lady made stopping these abuses a top priority, and she was given tremendous support because she'd go up to people and talk about it. They say, yeah, we know about it. We have the problem. Can we do something? And she did something about it with the help of a lot of the people, especially the political people sitting here today. Among Melania's guests in the gallery during my address to the joint session of Congress was a 15-year-old young person, Elliston Berry, whose image was turned into an illicit deepfake by a peer. Elliston, where are you? Are you around? Stand up, darling. That's fine. Beautiful. great. Thank you. You look fantastic. Ellison quickly became a powerful advocate committed to preventing other girls from suffering the same abuse. Elliston, we salute you and we thank you very much, and it's an honor to have you with us today. Great job you've done. Also with us are several other brave Americans whose lives were rocked by online harassment, including Francesca Manny, as well as a South Carolina State Representative, Brandon Guffey, and his family, who have lost their son to suicide after he was targeted in an internet extortion scam, of which you have a lot of them, a lot. I want to thank you both for your incredible work and to reach this important day. Could you stand up, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. I've read about it. Thank you very much. It's a real honor to have you here, because there's no place like the White House, I found out. You know, you have a lot of places, and I just left some of the richest places, and we loved them, and they gave us a nice contribution of about $5 trillion, but this is a special place. Even they talk about it, so it's great to have everybody here. Under the law, I will sign in just a moment. Anyone who intentionally distributes explicit images without the subject's consent will face up to 3 years in prison. In addition, this law establishes new civil liabilities for online platforms that refuse to take these images down promptly upon request. We will not tolerate online sexual exploitation, and especially it's gone on at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's getting worse and worse, and I think this is going to hopefully stop it. And not easy to do. People talked about all sorts of First Amendment, Second Amendment. They talked about any amendment they could make up, and we got it through because of some very brave people, including some very brave politicians in the audience. I want to thank the bill's sponsor, Senator Ted Cruz. Ted, stand up, please. Great. Great. Thank you, Ted. It's great. Very effective person. And Congresswoman Maria Salazar, friend of mine. Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much for their amazing work. And thanks also to the 99 senators and 408 members of Congress who voted in favor of the bill. Wow, I wish we could get that vote from other things. We have another bill coming up. Do you think we'll get that vote? Maybe not. We should, but we probably won't. But working with our First Lady, we've shown that bipartisanship is still possible. That's true. With 99 senators, that's incredible. Senators, stand up. Look at that. John, you're here. Look at all of the senators. This is big stuff. I'm in trouble because I don't have your names. They didn't give me these names. We have so many. We have half of the Senate here. Now they're all going to hate me because I can't introduce you. We don't have the time for that. I have to get back to Putin and people. But thank you very much for being here, all of you, and congressmen, a lot of them, and women. Working with our First Lady, though, we've shown that bipartisanship is possible. I mean, it's the first time I've seen such a level of bipartisanship, and it's a beautiful thing to do. I'm not even sure you realize, honey, you know, a lot of the Democrats and Republicans don't get along so well. You've made them get along, and she didn't even know about that. She didn't know we had a problem. She didn't know we had a problem. She got it. But I want to thank you, honey. You've done amazing that this was done when you started. And I said, I don't know, it sounds like a tough one, and yet a very important one, and you got it done. So I congratulate you, and I congratulate Ted, Maria, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we'll sign the bill. Thank you. Okay, you ready? Okay, honey, are you signing something? Do you want to sign it anyway? Come on, sign it anyway. deserves to sign it. Okay, there we have it.
There we are.
That's a big one. Thank you very much, everyone. And you have some pens here. You most importantly, right? Grab one of them. Oh, look at these white pens. I've never seen that before.
Alrighty, there we go. Sorry about that. Some audio difficulties there because it's just a little quiet, the feed we're getting in from the White House, but we've worked through that just a little bit. You're watching on the right side of your screen there Donald Trump as he and Melania just signed that executive order that would, or signed that bill rather, into law passed in the Senate and the House that would, I believe, if I'm completely correct here, I would make it illegal for deep fake images. It would make publishing deepfake images and content, pornography content and things of that nature illegal, and would subject violators to mandatory restitution and criminal penalties such as prison, a fine, or both. The bill would also subject people to criminal penalties who make threats to public these intimate visual deceptions, some of which are created using artificial intelligence. And now some music being played there at the White House. Trump signed to say something else, but the mic didn't appear to be on. There he is, not taking any questions, but saying multiple things about what I had alluded to moments ago before he had spoke about the Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin talks. Both of the leaders characterizing that moment, that conversation that they had, but
please remain at your seats until the president and the first lady has departed the Rose Garden. Thank you.
alrighty, so that event just coming to an end there. We were also monitoring an event that occurred a little bit earlier with the NTSB, the National Traffic and Safety Board, holding a press conference on really just everything about this Mexican Navy vessel that crashed into the Brookland Bridge. The big news that I thought from that press conference that was ongoing as we had to switch feeds was the damage on the travelers, which is what is used to inspect the bridge. But he said that it was really no big deal, and the big thing there, no structural damage, just damage to the travelers, which is what's used to inspect the bridge. So lots of news there to talk about. The news made this afternoon. So again, the White House holding that signing event on the Taking It Down Act, and then we had the NTSB holding that press conference. That is going to wrap it up, though, on this Brookland News Special Report and conclude it. I want to thank all of you for joining me throughout the last about 30 minutes or so. Just a short special report as we were watching Trump sign that act and Melania and the NTSB press conference. Thank you so much. See you on the next news story. I will tell you today I covered the Brookland Police Department actually participating in the Click It or Ticket campaign. You can read that all at brooklandnews.com. Of course, don't forget to follow all of my social media pages. They've been scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout this, but I want to thank again all of you for watching. This concludes a BN Special Report.